Okay, this is something I bought on eBay because it looked quite interesting and quite fuckaboutable. What it appears to be is a control panel for extracting the mission data and video from the internal video recorder on the Tornado jet aircraft, according to the paperwork that came with it. Now, it seems to be quite evidenced by the keys on this thing. So it's some kind of video switching box, or control box for some video processing unit. So you've got things like here, the forward infrared radar, the TV tab at the front, TV tab at the back, head-up display. Presume that's radar. No idea what that is. Step reference selector, no idea. Of course, you've got here the time intermission, target time, and some unused displays at the end. Don't know what they are. Obvious, that's obvious, that's obvious. Beginning of tape, end of tape, that's built-in test equipment. VTP, maybe a videotape player. Yeah. I thought there'd be quite some complex electronics in this sort of thing. But I was a bit disappointed, and it isn't really as fuckaboutable as what I think. Certainly not as fuckaboutable as that military computer, that CDU I took about on my last video. Managed to do quite a bit with that. But this thing, not really. I have actually already connected it to a computer. So it does have a RS232 port on it, but that just outputs junk. So using this little RS232 converter type thing. Here's a serial output in more detail. I've tried various baud rates. I put an oscilloscope on and determined the baud rate to be 38400 baud, but no matter what I do with the parity settings, the stock bits, etc., you just get garbage. The output does change when you press the keys, as you can see, but it's still pretty meaningless. And there's just a continuous stream of garbage from it, even though nothing is being pressed. Now it does say it's functional with the paperwork. I just wonder if somebody's taken it apart and swapped some of the ROMs around. Possibly. But I can't understand why it's sending all this data out when it just sat there doing note. Don't know, it's a bit of a weird one that. But anyway, let's get back to it. It just needs a single 5V supply. It takes about 700 milliamps. But when you connect power to it, all that happens is just these colons come on. It doesn't do anything. Pressing these buttons have no effect whatsoever. And it's just constantly outputting a serial data stream, which does change when you press any of these keys. But it's just garbage. You can't interpret anything from it. And of course, if you send any data to it, occasionally you can get these two LEDs displays to light up. They'll either display a 0 or an 8, but nothing else will work on it. So let's see the inside of it. Right, here's a display board. Just remove this crap out of the way. There's a manufacturer, I presume that's 1993. Display driver consists of two ICM7228 display drivers, and there's also another two here. These two here, these control the LEDs on the keyboard, and these two are just for 7-segment displays, but all the address lines on these displays are connected together. So what I've done is I've disconnected this cable, removed these ICs, and then connected an Arduino to this 16-pin connector, and I've managed to drive this display. But instead of this chip controlling the left-hand side and that one controlling the right-hand side, each chip controls an alternate digit, which is a really strange way of doing it. But in the middle here, these two are controlled by that chip, which doesn't make any sense at all. So I can't figure out how they've done this or how it's wired together, but there's 12 displays, and each chip display drives 8 displays, so first 8 are indeed on that one. But that one only controls the odd chip ones on this side, and that one controls the odd ones on that side. It's weird, I can't work it out. So anyway, that's enough of that. Mainboard, RS232 chip, UART, and you've got some mass programmable ROMs, which I managed to pull out and dump the contents, but they don't contain firmware, they're just being used as combinational logic. So there's nothing really interesting. I'll show that now if you want to take a look. Not really much to say here. There's no firmware in it. They're just the odd address that's programmed. Just been used as combinational logic. Says I'm using a lot of discrete logic chips. So these are the 5 EPROMs in turn. And I said earlier, the mass programmable ROMs, they're actually EPROMs, but they don't have a window on the top, so they can only be programmed once. The 64K EPROMs. Next we've got these Altera CPLD chips, which are just programmable logic. Use these to, instead of using tons of discrete logic, you just use a programmable chip instead, another ROM. There's no microcontroller, no CPU, nothing. This is your analog switching electronics, which switches the video channels, or combines them, whatever. DC to DC converter. That thing gets red hot. Really, I thought I'd better do something with this, but say connecting it to a PC, it just displays the output, doesn't display anything. I've tried sending codes to it, nothing will light up. All you get is a constant stream of serial garbage, which it does change when you press the keys, but there's nothing meaningful can be gained from it. So this thing does absolutely nothing on its own, it completely relies on a separate system to function. But I've searched on Google and found absolutely no information whatsoever. So if somebody does have some information, I'd be grateful if they could share it. But for now I think this thing's going to be break it up for spares. I mean, the case will definitely come in handy for a project. These CPLD chips can be reprogrammed. They'll probably sell on eBay.
these will have to go in bin. Just can't reprogram them. There's no, I've peeled the label off that one, and there's no window underneath it to erase it. Although it is actually an EPROM, there's no, like I say, it can all be programmed once. Of course, these chips can be removed and reused. 8-digit display drivers. This PCB could possibly get complete, but like I said earlier, writing the code to send data to one chip for one digit, then the next digit send it to the other chip is going to be quite complicated. So I might just pull those out and solder these LED displays and make my own replacement PCB when I have a project in mind. But yeah, the whole thing just runs on 5 volts as well, so it's easy to power up, but it doesn't do anything. So yeah, it's a bit of an eBay waste of time, that really. There's some salvageable parts I could use.